What's up, everyone? I'm Kabir Cham Sports. It's Kabir Cham Sports. I'm Kabir Chavla, and today we're doing one breakout player from every NBA team. This is a two-part series. Today we're doing Eastern Conference. Later we'll do Western Conference. But before we start, I'm trying to grow this channel for basketball fans, NBA fans. So if you don't mind, like the video, and if you have not subscribed, if you like my content, you can subscribe if you want. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what I have planned. Well, I just did some power ranking shorts that it's like a bunch of different parts to that. Obviously, I have the Western Conference of this breakout player series. Then I'm doing a top 50 players in the league, and then somewhere before the season, I'm doing a season predictions. That's pretty much all I have planned for now. But without further ado, let's get into the list. I'm doing this in a specific order. So try to figure out what that is, but we're starting the order with the Orlando Magic, and my breakout player for the Magic has got to be Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony was injured a little bit in his rookie season, but he still played well. He put up about 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He played some good minutes in Summer League, and he looked pretty good. You know, if he wasn't injured for a little bit, he probably would have made an all-rookie team. He was great in high school and even in college, and he just missed the lottery. And I think he's going to have a breakout season because of Orlando's now rebuilding, and they need a bucket getter. And I think Cole Anthony's that guy that they're looking for. Jalen Suggs, I don't think will do it right away. And I don't really see anyone else doing it. I think Cole Anthony will be their main scorer and he'll be a starter for them, like probably with Jalen Suggs in the backcourt. And I like Cole Anthony, and I think that he has a bunch of potential, and I think this is the year he'll have a good sophomore year, maybe I could see him putting up about 17, 5, and 5 with the opportunity he gets in Orlando. I'm not going to say that this team is going to be good, but I'm saying that Cole Anthony is going to have a pretty good season, and I think he is going to be the breakout player that the Orlando Magic have on their squad. As we move on to the Toronto Raptors, and for the Raptors, we got Gary Trent Jr. Now, I think that the Raptors I think Siakam has trade rumors, and I think he probably will get traded before the season starts or during the season, but I think Gary Trent Jr. will be the breakout player because he played he got traded for Norman Powell pretty much, and he played some good minutes for them. He had some really big games. He dropped 44 points in a game once. He had a game winner in another game. He averaged about 17 points in his stint with the Raptors, and now, I mean, they lost in free agency. The guy that's not really known for his scoring ability, but still is a good scorer, and people say he's the best Raptor in franchise history, and that's Kyle Lowry. So more shots will go to Gary Trent Jr., who's a great shooter and a great defender. So he is kind of underrated. He's not talked about too much in the Raptors, but I think he's a good shooting guard, and I think he'll probably be starting Freddie at the point, Gary at the shooting guard. I can see him being their primary scorer since Siakam. I think Freddie and Gary will take turns alternating baskets, and I think that we're going to see a pretty big season from Gary Trent Jr. Just for his best season of his career. And guys like Cole Anthony and guys like Gary Trent Jr., I mean, they have added opportunity now that a lot of players are leaving, and they have a lot more tools and a lot more shot attempts, and I think that's why they're going to thrive, because Trent is already a very gifted scorer. So I think that both of those guys will get some extra opportunities, and that's why I have Trent as the breakout player for the Toronto Raptors. Let's see how the Raptors do this season. I'm actually kind of intrigued in how they do this season. Next up, we got Motor City, Detroit Pistons, and for the Pistons, I got Sadiq Bey. Now, they got motorcade in there with the number one pick. They were lucky to get the number one pick, and now they have a lot of promise, like a lot more hope that since they've had in the couple of years. And Saddiq Bey, though, has given them a little hope. He had a great rookie season, made all rookie first team, put up 12 points, good defense, and good shooting ability. And he was their main scorer wing. I remember he dropped. Actually, I was literally about to say there's a mixtape of him playing against the Celtics. One of the games against the Celtics where I was watching, because live, Saddiq just dropped 30 on my boys. So that I think we won that, but still, he dropped 30. He shows potential, and I think he'll have another sophomore leap. Especially now, like even with Cade, I think Cade will give him the ball. Because to be honest, I don't think Jeremy Grant had a really good season, but I don't think he's like all that. Like he was a role player he's like 28 years old. He was a role player for Philly and Denver for a while, and I think that he just had added opportunity, like we were talking about with Cole Anthony and Gary Trent, where I think they'll blossom. Jeremy Grant got added opportunity, so I think that now, especially since the Pistons, he doesn't really fit the timeline of the Detroit Pistons because he's like 28, so I think we'll see another step from Saddiq Bey like last year, like we saw DeAndre Hunter or RJ Barrett came off of pretty meh rookie seasons and then came out and played great on really solid teams, overachieving teams in their sophomore season. I'm talking about the Knicks and the Hawks, because the Knicks, obviously not any. If you thought the Knicks would make the playoffs, well, no one did. So you're lying if you thought the Knicks would make the playoffs before the season. And the Hawks made it all the way to the conference finals. And I doubt many people thought the Hawks would make it to the conference finals. So they helped in that. And I think Saddiq Bey already had a better rookie season than both of them. And I think we can see an even bigger jump from Saddiq Bey to be not just a great rookie, but a very good wing to be in this league. So he's a player for the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the player that I think will break out for the Cavs next season. I don't have a clue. I don't have an answer for this player for the Cavs, because I wanted to like get an answer, but I couldn't really pick one. I didn't really have an answer for this one. Colin Sexton, I don't know how much he'll really improve. Same thing with Darius Garland. And other than that, I don't see anyone really taking a huge step. I think the Cavs will be similar to where they were last season, and I don't think much will change. So I obviously I couldn't really pick one though. So there's two teams in this whole breakout series that I just don't have an idea, and the Cavs are one of them. So I think all the young guys will keep progressing, have pretty good seasons, but I don't see anyone taking a leap in particular. However, a team that I do think has a player that will break out this season is the Indiana Pacers. And my player is actually a guy that I've not actually heard much about. And it's ever since he went on a crazy run to end the season. And is O'Shea Brissett. So not only Brissett had dropped 30 points in the play-in game to beat the Hornets by almost 40, and he was like the leading scorer. He's a great three-point shooter, a good defender, and he went on a great run out of nowhere to end the season. So he only put up like 11 points last season, but to end the season, he had a stretch where he put up 3 straight 20-point games, obviously 30 in the play-in tournament, and put up about 15 in that stretch. And I've not heard this guy talk in the core. Like I've heard Brogdon, LeVert, Sabonis, Turner. I've heard TJ Warren, Jeremy Lamb. But like O'Shea Brissett was arguably their best player. Well, not their best player, but one of their best players to end the season. And he has a ton of potential. He was actually a player in Toronto and only played limited minutes there. And then he came out in Indiana and was actually a starter for them in the biggest stage. And he actually played well, as I believe they're power forward, because Sabonis played center and Miles Turner was injured, and that was like when they played their best basketball too. So I think that's a lineup that I would like to see a lot more. Because I don't really see anyone really taking a leap in Indiana as well. I think Indiana's still going to be competing for a playoff spot, but I don't see another player taking a huge leap like Brogdon, like LeVert, Sabonis, Turner. I don't see any of them taking a huge leap. TJ Warren, Aaron Holiday could have, but now he's in Washington, so let's see what he does there. He'll probably play backup to Dinwiddie. So yeah, I think I have O'Shea Brissett as the Pacers breakout player for the upcoming season. Next up, we have the the Washington Wizards, and my player for the Wizards is actually in my opinion, one of the most overhated players in the league for some reason, and that is Kyle Kuzma. Now, I googled Kyle Kuzma's name, and you want to know the first thing that pops up? Kyle Kuzma lowlights, Kyle Kuzma trash, Kyle Kuzma Shanghai Sharks, and I'm like, this guy is not that bad. He just was under pressure. I mean, he's a young guy. He only played a couple years in the league. He should not have he should not be responsible to be relied as the second, third star to LeBron James, one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. And now he has a fresh start in Washington, where now he doesn't have much pressure. They're still going to be competing for the playoffs, but now they're a pretty young team. He's playing with Beal, not Westbrook, which is probably a good thing for Kuzma. And I'm happy for Kuzma because Kuzma is not a bad player. He shot 36% from three last season, put up about 13 points, was a great player off the bench. He hit more threes than Trae Young, who's actually regarded as one of the best shooters in the league. I am not one of those people that says that because I think that just because you can shoot deep does not make you one of the best shooters in the league. But I give Trae Young his respect after the playoffs of what he did. But Kuzma is a really solid player. Now, he was part of a championship team, and many people said he didn't deserve the championship because he wasn't playing well. He was just like he didn't deserve. Lakers fans made a petition of him not to get a ring, and I'm like he was actually a big part of that. A big reason why they got the 1 seed last year, which led them to the particularly easy road that they had to win a championship, was Kyle Kuzma, game winner over Bol in the NBA bubble. Because I was calling that commentating that game on an app called Sportscaster, and it was crazy. But Kyle Kuzma hit a big shot, which was very important in their championship run, believe it or not. Yes, Kuzma is a good player, and I think he has potential to be a most improved player candidate because to start Kuzma's career, he was really good. First year of the league, no LeBron James, no real pressure, no pressure in LA because they were still a young team with Lonzo and BI. 18 points a game on 36% shooting. And they were actually not even one of the worst teams in the league. They were actually like a 10 seed. So that tells you something, that Kuzma has a ton of talent. And I'm a Celtics fan. And Tatum had a very solid rookie season, was third in Rookie of the Year voting. He put up about 14 on 40% three. And he was a big part of the Celtics, making it how far they did. But I was literally thinking that Kuzma was as good as Tatum. Now, they're like 5 levels apart. Like, you can't compare them. You can't compare them. But Kuzma got off to a really good start, and now he kind of faded off because of LeBron James and having all that pressure. But I think he's going to have a redemption, most improved player type year. I think he can win it. I'm not saying he will win it. You'll see when I do season predictions because I'm doing standings and award and stuff. But Kuzma is not going to be just the breakout player for the Wizards. He'll be he'll have one of the breakout seasons in the league, in my opinion. We'll see how that turns out. Next up, we got the loser in the play-in tournament, the Charlotte Hornets. And my player that I think will have the breakout player for the Charlotte Hornets, yeah, it's LaMelo Ball. It's not a flashy pick. Well, he's a very flashy player, but he was already really good. He was the rookie of the year in just like 50 games played. He's already really good. But I really didn't have I think he'll just take another sophomore jump. I think Anthony Edwards similar. Like I think both of them will take sophomore jumps, and I don't see another player taking a huge leap. PJ Washington, I'm not completely sure. I think he'll have a good season, maybe the best season of his career. But I think LaMelo Ball is going to have near all-star season. And that's really all I got to say for the Charlotte Hornets. He's my breakout player. Welcome to Chicago. For the Chicago Bulls, my breakout player is Big Zo, Lonzo Ball, who just signed a huge contract with the Chicago Bulls. First off, you remember when Lonzo Ball had that crazy, like weird jump shot with the Lakers, and he just couldn't hit a jumper, and people were calling him a bust, and now he's one of the better point guards in the league. He's a great passer, great defender, and is actually a catch and shoot threat, and he's the perfect backcourt partner next to Zach LaVine. It was the best move. I was kind of salty when it happened. I wanted the Celtics to let go of Kemba Walker, and, well, actually, he already was. I wanted them to pick up Lonzo Ball. I would have paid him that 4-year, $85 million that he got. But he got to Chicago, and I think that's a good fit. I really do like the Chicago Bulls team, like the players on that team. I love Zach LaVine. Kobe White, I've always had some good potential in, but I like him as a sixth man, and now he actually has that chance. So, I think he'll have a good season for Kobe White. But I think Lonzo Ball, not statistically, because he already has so many weapons, like offensively. He's LaVine, DeMar, Vucevic. But I think just overall, he is going to get much better, like he did in New Orleans, because he went. I think what Kuzma I think will do. He went out of the LA spotlight. Didn't have the pressure, and he thrived. And I think Zion loved to play with him, and now he's gone. And I don't know about Zion. That's why I don't have too much faith in the Pelicans this year. But Lonzo Ball can shoot it now. He shot 37% from three on attempts. He hit more threes than Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal's one of the best scorers in the league. He's still a great passer, put up about 7 assists a game while putting up about 15 points, and a great defender. Like, there's not much Lonzo Ball can't do, which is a great thing from considering how he's changed. He's my breakout player for the Chicago Bulls. Next up, we got the big surprise team of the 2021 season, and that's the New York Knicks. And my breakout player for them I don't think is a breakout player. I just think he'll improve and get more playing time. And it's Obi Toppin. I'm not saying he's going to be anything big. I thought he would be something big. Right now, he didn't play like it, but he only played 11 minutes a game last year, and he played like 20 minutes in a playoff game and actually played well. So I think he's actually going to get some quality minutes, somewhere around 20 to 25, and actually play like a good backup, or even not a starter, but a good backup role player. And I think going from a guy that hardly got minutes and only put up 4 points a game to a guy that plays good minutes and plays well and can do a little bit of stuff on offense. That's why I just have the Knicks going Obi Toppin, because realistically, they're not such a young team. I don't think Quickly, with all the talent that they have, I don't think Quickly is going to have a crazy sophomore season. I think Obi Toppin's just going to want to play him a bit more. He's already an athletic freak, so that's what a lot of fans want to see. So I think Toppin will be like a crowd pleaser as well for the New York Knicks. I mean, I think they'll probably play him because they played a lot of Taj Gibson last year, and I think he won't play as much because Taj only sent to a 1-year deal, and his career is wrapping up soon, I think. So I think they'll play Obi Toppin a little more, and that's why I don't think he's going to breakout, but he's going to improve, and he's going to get more playing time, and he'll play well in that playing time. That's what I think will happen this season. Similar to Obi Toppin, is for the Atlanta Hawks, and my player for them is Onyeka Okongwu. Onyeka Okongwu was a top 6 pick, but didn't get much playing time. But he actually had a game where he put up 21, 15, and 5. And I'm not saying he's going to be putting up 21, 15, and 5 because they still got Clint Capella. But he's going to be playing some actual really valuable backup center minutes, and he'll get more playing time, somewhere around 20 minutes a game. And he'll play well in that playing time, which means, I think Hawks already have established their core. I don't think there's going to be one player that's going to majorly break out. I don't think John Collins, Trae Young, Clint Capella, I think they're all going to have relatively good seasons, like how they usually do. I think Onyeka Okongwu will have a pretty big jump this season. Next up, we got the Boston Celtics in one. The breakout player that I think will break out, and I hope will break out because I'm a Celtics fan, is Peyton Pritchard. Look, he played incredible in Summer League, all Summer League first team, and he had some really big games here and there. And he actually had a really good rookie season. He got up to a great start, and then he continued. He honestly continued that, but he didn't get as much attention for it. However, one thing he did, I honestly personally believe he should have been on an all-rookie team. I wasn't completely mad at it. I think the Celtics got completely disrespected by the all teams, all NBA, all defensive, all rookie. No Marcus Smart, all defensive. No Jason Tatum, all NBA. No Peyton Pritchard, all rookie. The Peyton Pritchard, I'm probably like the least mad about. But look, he played well. He put up about 8 points, was a good backup point guard. And I think, yes, Schroeder is going to be the starter, but he's going to get more minutes. I'm pretty positive of that. And I think Ime Udoka will do a good job of playing him. And I hope that the Celtics have an improved season with Udoka. Because I think it's possible. And I think Peyton Pritchard will have a good season. I mean, they were, before they actually got smoked in the Summer League Final, if you look at the score, it was 85 to 47. They were smoking teams, and Peyton Pritchard was a huge part of that. Now, there's also Sam Hauser, Jan Madar, Aaron Nesmith had a 30-point game, Bruno Fernando, Romeo Langford. But Peyton Pritchard was the leader of that, and he played incredible, and hope he continues to back that up next season as a Celtics backup point guard, because I think he'll have a pretty big season coming up for the Boston Celtics. Next up, we got Tyrese Maxey for the Philadelphia 76ers. And he's actually a guy that I think has potential to be a most improved player candidate next season. Look, he had a similar to Peyton Pritchard. Like, we're going sophomores now. Like, I've just noticed we're doing like a bunch of sophomores. LaMelo Ball, sophomore. Obi Toppin, Onyeka Okongwu, Peyton Pritchard. These are all sophomores. So we're doing a lot of sophomores, but we're continuing that trend with Tyrese Maxey. Look, he had a really solid rookie season. I thought he would be a lottery pick, and he played like a lottery pick last year, to be completely honest. He did. And I think that he's going to have a better season. I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid signed a max contract. Huge contract, but good for him because he's one of the best players in the world. I think he might start at point guard. I think he should start at point guard, to be completely honest. I would say move Ben Simmons to a different position or just trade him. Because Tyrese Maxey should be starting at point guard, and I think he's going to flourish. Like, he had some great performances in the playoffs. So I think he'll continue to build on that next season. So Tyrese Maxey for the Philadelphia 76ers. Next up, we got the defending or past champions, Milwaukee Bucks. And I do not have an answer for this one. Similar to the Cavs, I think they're just going to run it back, and I don't think anyone's going to have a crazy breakout season. That's all I got to say. Finally, to end things off, we got the Brooklyn Nets, Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is actually one of my favorite players in the league. I love how he plays. I loved him in college. He is a big that can do a little of everything. I know that he doesn't have a bunch of three-pointers in his NBA career, but trust me, this dude can shoot. And he can handle the ball, and he's a great defender. And he's going to be playing. Both their centers, both their big men are getting pretty old. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, they're both washed, getting pretty old. This guy has a ton of potential. He played great in his minutes. He started off, after he came back from his injury, he started off playing great, and he didn't play as much because I thought he'd play a lot more in the playoffs. But I think that you're going to play him a bit more, and I think he's not a sophomore. He's heading into the third year, and I think this will be the year where he breaks out and becomes a very quality big man. That's noticed. Like, that's not, because a lot of people might not know who Nick Claxton is right now, but that's noticed, and that gets respect across the league. And that's going to be it. Those are all my breakout players for each team. Eastern Conference edition. Western Conference is coming out soon. It's Kabir Champ Sports. Thanks for watching. See you with the Western Conference next time. Peace.